Hey YouTube, what's going down? So listen, this is a continuation about the abortion ruling, and it ended abruptly, right? So it just timed out. It was perfect timing. If you heard otherwise, it's wrong. I didn't pause it, and no one else cut that off. I cut off right. I was watching last night. Cut off right at that momentary, like, shocking time where I was about to say, "Well, if it is alive," and then you know what follows that. It's not. I don't even want to say it. It's so horrendous that it's just. But if you have enough principles, even if you don't want to say it, we know that what the truth is. If it is alive, it would, But here's something interesting I want to talk about. So, the same thing. When I was younger, my girlfriend Michelle Loney, I was in love with her. She missed her period, and I'm religious now. I'm Catholic, but I'm kind of a deist. It's not deist like God forgot us, but Leonardo da Vinci's version of a deist, which is, you can look that up. It's pretty interesting. He's really honest with himself. His logic told him there was a God, but he wasn't sure if there wasn't or not. He realized that he didn't have any proof, which goes to both sides. There's faith, knowing without proof, but you could see that for the other side too. They could have faith too. So, and I'm not a sellout to my religion, to God, because I'm just taking care of both sides. Because it is not as much painful if there wasn't a God that's so much religious, but it's still pretty painful as somebody that believes in chance that there is a God, because that void, which I'll talk about earlier, is our first looming negative, which we're born with. We wake up in the mom's womb, out of the mom's womb, and the doctor slaps our butt, and we're conscious, and we cry. Not because the doctor slapped our ass, but because we're awake, we're conscious. What the fuck? I cry because what the hell is this? So that kind of holds over. We fill that temporarily with a belief, and a belief. The exact definition of belief, if you look it up, is and I'm digressing. I'll go back to the abortion thing, but the exact definition of belief is believing in something certainly about something you're not certain of. Makes sense? Like, when your wife asks you to check the water in the tub, you don't say, "Yeah, honey, check it, it's hot." I believe it's hot. No. Like you believe in God or believe in chance. No. You say it's hot. Right? You have proof, objective proof. You sense it with your eyes, touch, your senses. There's confirmation. Now, anyways, that's the first looming negative, which ties into ego, because we wouldn't have the thought experiences affecting us too highly and too negatively if we didn't have negativity. And I'll talk about that too. But back to the abortion thing. Sirens are going, "Oh, I'm doing something wrong." Every time I'm talking, sirens always come up. It's a sign. I'll be figuring stuff out. It's team only. It's not the world. The whole world is my mind. Sirens come by. Anyway, so it's that's funny. Team only is like the government, with the celebrities and everything. And I'm starting to realize that rather than only in the whole world, which is liberating. If that's cool, that's true. That'd be awesome. Anyways, back to the abortion thing. When I was young, I was in love with my girlfriend, very in love, and she missed her period. And I'll admit, it popped in there. I freaked out, and it popped in my head. I want to fuck it. I didn't commit, but I was thinking fuck. I want I want an abortion. I didn't tell her, but she got a period pretty soon after that. But still, I thought about it. So I understand the negatives of people that wouldn't want to keep a child, because that's a life-changing. Having a kid is a serious thing. You don't want to, not just I was 19, so I was fuck, I go to school, I make money. So no, but if you think about it, you have to think about what the Supreme Court thinks, which is we don't know what's alive or not, right? So if I sat her down and she was pregnant, I'd say, "Look, I don't want a kid. I know I would have done this. I don't want a kid, but we don't know if it's alive or not. So the best thing, in my opinion, it's up to you. You're the woman, but my opinion is I don't want to keep it, but let's keep it, because it's better than the option is better." Like I said, and that sucks to say that, but not knowing that would be the right choice back then. Then I'm thinking about it. Really, the way to go is the morning after pill, or a week after, before the zygote was turned to, the core of the brainstem, because at least I know that it's not going to feel pain. It's not going to be It doesn't have consciousness in it. Maybe the cells may be a living thing, but it doesn't have, it's not a mind yet. It's not like, it could be like, like living, growing, but it's not, it doesn't have a mind, it doesn't have a state of mind, it doesn't feel pain. So, I would be okay with it. So I would go with the abortion ruling now, and that's why I know they made the right choice. That would be the right choice, to make an abortion before it turned into something that could resemble a human being. And in their assessment, it's a brainstem. So that's all. And I know it sucks when I don't even want to say it. Like, if it is alive, like with that shit, rape and stuff, that sucks. Like, fuck. Like, I hate myself saying that. It's just, I'm smart. I can't lie to myself. I know that's what. If it's alive, the Supreme Court have to rule that, and the people would hate them, but they can't. The number one thing in politics and in life when it comes to really big, serious decisions, religion, everything, is holding on to your principles, and you have to have the right principles rather than going with your desires. So the desire to please people, because you may look bad, would be the Supreme Court saying, well, not with rape, because, but seriously, if it's alive, then I don't even want to say it, but it's the truth, fuck. Like, if that baby was talking to you in your belly, and you were talking to it, no woman, even if she got raped, would abort that baby, right? It'd be murder, and she'd just give it up for adoption, or probably keep it, Like, I don't know, but we don't know whether it's alive or not. That's the whole thing. Right now, people are kind of settled with what I'm saying, unsettled with what I'm saying. They're pissed off because we don't know if it's alive or not. I'm saying if it is. I'm not saying it's alive. I'm not saying it's alive. I'm saying if it is alive, then it would be murder, no matter what. But we don't know if it's alive or not. So there is the debate. That's why there is the Supreme Court made the right decision. They totally Solomon it. That's the best they could do. I cannot see any other option. They're smart. They have integrity. They always follow the rules. And I always say this. And sometimes you think they can hear me. I'm like, Supreme Court, if you're I know you're doing the right thing when people are mad at you, because when people like you, it's because you're appeasing them, you're appeasing, just like whoever's president, not Obama, but some of the presidents, like they'll do something just to look good so you get votes. Oh, he's great. But when someone gets mad at you for something